The contingency is here and has thoroughly annihilated me with its initial salvo. On the plus side, the Latrepians have now given me not one, but two lore-based reasons to mess with them. Hello, Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris First Contact in our Clandestine Curiosity series. So, yeah, I'm going to start this episode by doing, well, a few things. Okay, I'll start with a few things. We're going to let Barnaby come back at like half volume. He's been in the closet for like half the series. As I was just telling someone earlier on the Discord, I think a couple of frustrating things have happened with this series. But honestly, and I'll talk about this again at the end, whenever that is, but honestly, the thing at the very top of the list, this is going to sound strange, but I mean it, because I'm very lore-focused and story-focused when I play these games. I wrote Barnaby into the lore for the Modians. I've never done that before, but I liked the sound of the advisor's voice so much, I was like, let me make this part of the backstory. And then, very surprisingly and unexpectedly, he turned out to be incredibly annoying during wartime. And as a result, it made me not want to have Barnaby on, which has actually affected tremendously, like, my investment in the lore that I wrote for this series. It's an understandable, like, backfiring of something that I thought would be cool that's not. But that's one of the reasons I've left Barnaby off, so that I could focus on other things. But maybe if we bring him back at like 50% volume so he doesn't yell quite as loud every single time a ship is lost to the waves, maybe we can learn to live with him once more. So there's that. But the other thing that I want to do as I kick off the episode is take a look at this. Now, I've already built some null void beams into my ships in a number of places. And one thing I would like to do as well, let's take the... yeah, we'll take the battleship. I'm going to put one kinetic artillery there. And we're going to replace this with a spinal mount. We'll use a tachyon lance. Well, hang on, let's see. Yeah, so these are additional armor and hull damage, whereas... yeah, so those will help balance things out a little bit and do some additional damage, at least I would hope. Let's see what the best configuration here would be. Ancient Pulse Armor or Neutronium Armor? See, the Ancient Pulse Armor provides so much shield regen that it makes me want to at least try that. So let's refit the Swiftsure with Tachyon Lances. And now what I need to do is get this thing rebuilt to a large degree. Now, let me make sure that I've already done this. I talked about this in a previous episode as well. Yeah, a lot of the ships that I've been building, I've had to reconfigure because I can't afford to continue building mass quantities of them, which we mostly did towards the end of the last episode, although here there's still one of these. So let's go ahead and replace that. That's just on the battleship. Anywhere else where I need to do the same? Probably, well, hang on, Titan. No, Titan looks good. Although, there's an argument to be made for maybe using the null void beam in place of the Gauss cannons on the Titan. Let's do that. Oh, one is currently being built, so we can't do that. All right, well, with that being done, let's now go ahead and give the order to replenish these fleets. I think we have some reinforcements on the way for the Green Fleet. Remember, towards the end of the last episode, the name of that fleet unexpectedly changed and threw me for a loop. So that was a little bit strange, but I think it's okay. Let's also take a look at what else we can do here. I'm going to go ahead and build an industrial district because I need everything and its mother building alloys. I guess I will do a city district here on Birchville, though, because we need some additional amenities there. Now, thankfully, we have enough in the way of alloys to also get some additional building done here. Now, because of the number of things the shipyard is currently building, I don't think... Oh yeah, the defense platforms too need to be reconfigured. I've still got a bunch of these set up here. So ancient nanomissile cloud launchers. See, those are really nice. Part of me wants to continue using those. But yeah, those are the things that are making these parts too difficult to produce in large quantities, and I need defense platforms. So let's go ahead and replace those with Marauder missiles instead. And now with that done, what are you still lacking? Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on. We have to do one more thing, because these as well are creating problems. Of course. I don't think I did this on any of my ships. So these are still going to slow down the rate at which I can actually produce more ships. I can maybe leave some of the ancient pulse armor on because it sure seems like an awesome part. But I need to dramatically reduce the degree to which I am relying on those shields. Alright, I can't change anything about the Titan because there's one being built. Now, I'll try and leave some of the ancient pulse armor on. I haven't fought the contingency in a long time. On or off of a YouTube series, to be honest. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I did a little bit of observing towards the end of the last episode, like, what are the things I need to be looking for? What are some improvements that I can obviously make? Alright, do these require... Okay, no, they don't actually require advanced parts. What about these? No, they don't. Alright. It's taking me a moment here, but this is going to determine my ability to actually build ships quickly and effectively. Because right now, I pretty much can't. There might still be a little bit of slowdown, you know, based on the fact that I have, you know, these pulse armors on there, but it shouldn't be as much of a holdup now. Should be able to build them at a more rapid clip. Alright. Now, having done that, we'll have to wait a moment. And we're going to let things rebuild. Now, remember that the most frustrating thing that's occurred in the last few moments is we had this situation transpire here. And now Kerbal actually... Yeah, I need to go ahead and build a station here. There are a couple of things I need to do. It's not, like, completely the end of the world, because we still have Abaddon's domain over here. So it's not like we lost our L-gate access, but this was a... I was angry at the end of the last episode, and I mostly contained it, but this is some nonsense. And there's really nothing I can do about it, especially in the midst of dealing with the contingency. So I'm just going to do my best to build up this other station instead. And let's see, why don't we do a... Yeah, let's do a command center there in case we end up in a fight. I think that's probably the most important thing. Oh, cool. Honestly, I didn't even know that trade routes button was there. I just used the trade interface directly most of the time. Alright, so I can still build some of these defense platforms off the bat, but only a few at a time. And to the Dothakan Horde. There we go! So that war is over, which means I can break my defensive pact with the Latrepians. And I'm definitely going to break that. Now, I can form a non-aggression pact with them, and I will. Just so that I don't have a terrible relationship, but I don't want to get sucked into their wars every time anymore. And now... another major thing that I can do, theoretically, hang on. Okay. So we will not be able to subjugate these guys. So this is what I've been waiting for. I have an opportunity to potentially subjugate some of the other powers in the galaxy and grow my score. So we're going to spend some time on pause here, really seeing if there are possibilities in that regard. Alright, so yeah, their base acceptance is low for this. They're xenophobic. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to accept. I don't know that there are that many more opportunities. There were earlier, but I don't think there are now. The Thorquell Pact? Maybe? They've been proposing secret fealty to me for the entire freaking game. So, but it looks like they are already a vassal under the Union of Latrepian Stars. And the Igarian Restorers actually they control a lot of territory. Alright, so here's the Jonan Custodian process, the final defense unit. I don't think there are any opportunities at all. I'm happy with the amount of space that I've taken, and I can definitely go ahead and colonize these worlds, and I think I will do that. Founder species only. New Oxforth, yep. Willsby. Sandborough, let's go. Alright, so Sandborough and Oxforth will be colonized there. And I see some additional trade value developing in a few places. But primarily what I want to do is just... hang on. Let's get this fleet rebuilt a little bit. Yeah. We still require those parts for build orders. Subjugation request. We are 2 weeks to survive on our own. In this hostile galaxy, will the Modian Curators protect us if we become your subject? So here we go. The Habenti Unified Worlds. I didn't even see you, but you're... oh. Whoa, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, sure. Become our vassal. We're the custodian. What are they going to do? Stop us? Can we propose the subjugation of the DAR databank? Probably not. It'd be hilarious if we could. Alright, well they volunteered for it, so that helps. Anything else we can do up here? Oh, yep, Gallaburi actually has a clear opportunity. Let me go ahead and build a city district here, because looks like we have a slot there for a potential building that could open up. Alright, so the Latrepians have accepted our non-aggression pact, but I'm no longer going to get sucked into every single one of their wars, which is lovely. Let me just say, like, it's my favorite thing. Now we need to rebuild as many ships as I can before the contingency decide to come back in. So far, it seems like the contingency are on their back heel, probably because we have so many awakened fallen empires that they're actually being dealt with. I'm happy that this situation got dealt with here. I think Ugron is probably going to get taken from me. I'm not going to, like, try to take it first. I don't have a science ship down there that could get there in time. It's frustrating, but it's not worth the futility. Welcome back, Barnaby. Okay. At least you used that line to win my affection back. All right, so... man, I have so much unused naval capacity. It's obscene. Might as well go for the side jump drive now. You know? Might as well. We have that opportunity. Cyberx Alpha Tertius. Let's go for the research segment. Again, being very basic. Alright, let's continue to reinforce this fleet. We can only do a few at a time. Machine world destroyed. Good. Sterilization hub 002. Oh. Oh, it was still here. It still existed here. So they've been fighting it this entire time. That's interesting. So now I'm wondering, can I get a scientist down there fast enough to potentially take it before them? See, now I actually do want to try. Because I thought that they were about to take it, but I might still be... hang on. Might still be in a position to... Oh, hello. I can't connect this. It's very frustrating. I might still be in a position to snag it from them, so let's try. Where do I have construction ships nearby? Oh, you should absolutely build a starbase there. You bet. I don't really have... Yeah, I remember I lost a construction ship not long ago. Alright, so this one could travel at a reasonable pace. This one, same thing. Neither of them would get there very fast because we don't have everything built up just yet. Oof, frustrating. I don't think I'm going to get it, but yeah, let's go ahead and try.
We grow ever stronger.
Indeed we do. Alright, the Kerbal Station has been built. Let's go ahead and build a trade hub and a hangar bay, followed by an off-world trading company, then upgrade you to a starhold. Meanwhile, one thing I definitely need to do... Let's build an ion cannon there. Did I get the ion cannon reconfigured properly? No, I did not. I'm still building it with the old style. That's fine. Yeah, so I think what's happening here is that because... Oh, the defensive web slingers still require those as well. So, Yep, I'm going to change that blueprint. Just because... that is just as much of a problem for those parts as it is for the others. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why, I didn't think those were affecting it in the same way. But they clearly are. Also, those are definitely missiles that need to be replaced. I just overlooked those on first pass. Yep, same here. This will help me build more ships sooner. And then these. Yep. I don't necessarily want to do this in every case. But I just don't feel like I have a choice. Yeah, let's do more auto missiles here. Alright, there we go. We're not under immediate threat anymore, which is nice. I can also potentially do some ascending of worlds. So let's take a look at the worlds that are like the most populous. No, I don't want to rename a sector. I just wanted to expand you. That's all. That's all. Port Eleanor. Port Eleanor is already Ascension Tier 4. So probably don't need to mess with anything there. Vera's Bay, though, I could go ahead and ascend them to Ascension Tier 1. They've got a good number of pops. Billowhead also looks like a pretty clear opportunity. Now, this is an auto-designated planet right now. It's currently set as a tech world, which I suppose makes sense. Let's go ahead and ascend that world as well, and then I might have some more Unity before too much longer. And it's now in session. Galactic Defense Force is being voted on. It's going to take a few years for it to actually pass, but it's being voted on. Okay, so Team, or Fleet 2 rather. Yeah, we still have a number of ships that are requiring those parts. And I'm trying to live with it. One thing I could do potentially... No, you can't buy them. That's interesting. You cannot buy them on the market. They're different from every other resource type. And they cannot be bought.
We grow ever stronger.
It is kind of nice to hear his voice again, isn't it? It's just once the war starts that you start regretting life decisions. Yeah, we're just going to keep these systems in terminal egress. Because the fact of the matter is, this system cannot fall. Alright, strategic resource discovered. So it looks like our science ship has made its way down. And our construction ship has too, but chances are they're already building there, right? Yeah, they just got there. So they're not, like, they're going to get this. It's my system, but they're going to take it from us, which is
Space charts updated.
ridiculous. Yeah, they're going to beat us to it. There's no way we beat their construction ship to it. It's closer than I thought it would be. Credit where due. But I don't think it's going to happen. Any second now it'll go to their side, I would guess. When we're at about like 70%. Yep, there it goes. And there's the feeling I was trying to avoid. The sadness of going for something that I knew was out of reach. And then when I was offered a glimmer of hope, deciding, maybe I'll try. A spaceborne life form, do you say, Barnaby? Reach into the shroud. Yeah, sure. Increased lifespan. So, for 40 years, all leaders gain the increased lifespan trait, gaining 40 years of leader lifespan. So this is just for leaders that are currently alive, but it's permanent, obviously, because it's a lifespan bonus. Makes sense for it to be that way. Fear Mathrios. Ooh, you know what? I can repair the Shattered Ring. Let's go ahead and do that. We still have plenty of additional alloys. I can give the order to reinforce the Mahogany Fleet. Surprise catch. Notch Clock Stellar Asset. Stellar Mandate gave us an asset. Queen Virginia Belvedere has developed new skills. She now has the Eye for Talent trait.
Research complete.
Okay, so we're still working on the side jump drive. But that could be very useful to have. Shield hit points plus 5%, probably a good idea at this point, but energy weapon damage also probably a good idea, so...
Land ho! A new colony is underway.
Let's continue reinforcing where possible. Yeah, so basically we need to wait every single month for the ships that require those goods.
A new colony is underway.
It's a very slow rate of construction. On the one hand, one of the things that it's helping us with is that we're not spending all of our alloys at once, so we can spend them in other places that are actually helpful. Defense platform damage plus 10%. Yep, let's research that. So that's nice, I suppose. For example, I can open the terminal egress station here, and I can go ahead and say, I want you to build another defense platform. Now, it still is requiring a certain amount of those. Yeah, so those are huge bottlenecks when you need to build a large number of ships. When you have like an endgame threat show up and kill all of your vessels, you either need to have a ton of those ready to go so that you can spend them quickly without worrying about this situation, or you just need to do what I've done and say, screw it, let's just completely revert to non-ancient technology. Which, I don't know. I'd have to think for a while on how I feel about that as like an implementation and an aspect of the ancient technologies mechanic, because it's a real downside to using ancient technology on any ships, especially at scale. Machine world destroyed. Alright, so that machine world's been destroyed. And the Zemmerpukians came in and took territory there. So yeah, the Latrepians really tried hard to like swoop in and take that. Alright, so we've got the side jump drive. Psi-phase field generator. So we can have better cloaking devices on top of everything else. You know what? Sure. Let's go for it. I very much doubt I'm going to have it. Alright, let's do a side jump drive here. Oh, it doesn't have enough power. I doubt I'm going to have that improved cloaking device on that many ships, but it's a nice thought. It'd be good to have access to that. There we go. Alright, so thankfully it looks like most of these do have enough power to just install the new jump drive. And of course, these drives will take time to charge. Battleships. None of the existing battleships have been refit yet with that new design that I've set up, because we've still been building the old fleets back up, and then I'll give the upgrade orders. Oh, hang on. I can finally go ahead and change this. And I think one of these was going to be a null void beam. Yeah? We can make both of them a null void beam. And then just have 2 kinetic artillery. How about that? Works for me. And we got your jump drive changed. Let's go ahead and put the side jump drive on the Juggernaut. Now the Juggernaut... Oof. Yeah, if I want to build you, all this is going to have to be replaced. Makes me sad. Haven't had the opportunity to even build that yet with the contingency arriving. Alright, let's reinforce you. Now it does look like the Teal fleet is ready for upgrades, so let's go ahead and give this order. And it's going to take a moment for those to kick in because the ships have to rebuild first. Yeah, alright, now the upgrade's going through. That's good to see. Senate session can be concluded prematurely. You are now able to use your power. Immediate session conclusion on Galactic Defense Force. Yes. The galaxy will become a safer place that will be placed under the direct command of the Modian Curators, the Galactic Custodians. Now, that's not going to immediately affect my score in any way, but it's a handy thing to have. On top of that, let's see if there's another resolution that they're more excited about now. A united front. Damage to endgame crisis factions. Monthly energy credits -3%. Strong support. Ooh. Yeah, let's add that to the proposal queue. Make it an emergency measure, and now it's being voted on. So that'll make finishing off the contingency even easier than it's already been, so that we can focus on just continuing to become the most advanced curators of ridiculously obscure knowledge in the history of the galaxy. I don't know to what extent I'll be able to compete with the Latrepians once the contingency are dealt with. I could potentially wreak havoc on their Federation, like I could try and damage the relationship between the Latrepians and the Sibulans, and then once the Sibulans are severed, maybe take that territory back myself. I could also try and take... if the Nodge clocks continue being a little bit ridiculous toward me, hang on, let's see what the... Yeah, there's no way they're accepting that. If the Nodge clocks continue maybe lowering in their relationship toward me, I might have some opportunities there. Alright, so those upgrades are happening. Let's go ahead and reinforce this fleet a little bit more. Oh, nice. Hang on. So they've proposed secret fealty. They're already a bulwark under the Rhiannon Crusaders. It's kind of hilarious that they propose secret fealty. So, if they're a bulwark under the Rhiannon Crusaders, could I subjugate the Rhiannon Crusaders? No. Nowhere close. Mainly just on account of distance. So yeah, there's not really any opportunities. There were a few earlier in the series, but I lost them. The Igarian Restorers, there were the Igarian Vestige, took that opportunity from me. And I'm very sad about it. Because that would have been fun. But it was a combination of not being able to do anything because of the wars that I was stuck in, and then losing my opportunity to do anything in the future. Sad day. All right, so the Habente Unified Worlds. This would give them a lot of additional energy each month. It would help us a little bit. I guess I can spy on them just out of sheer curiosity. Sheer morbid clandestine curiosity. But that's it. One of the things that this series has generally made me think about in terms of Stellaris content on the channel is pacifist runs, and this very well may have been something that years ago, before I took the channel offline for a bit and brought it back, still getting back into the swing of things somewhat. Years ago, I might have already kind of had a mental note like, hey, be careful with pacifist playthroughs, and I just forgot about it. And I saw doing the pacifist Modians as something potentially interesting and just ran with it. And now remembering, oh yeah, pacifist runs can get tricky because you get stuck in situations where you're not necessarily able to directly retaliate when bad things happen, which can be less compelling. In some ways, the opposite of compelling. Yeah, well, do we need the ancient refinery so much as we need, like, the... Yeah, let's do... Well, no. Let's do alloy foundries. That's what we need most on that planet, I would say. Eisenbury, you can do an industrial district for very similar reasons. Iroquois. All right, this is a mining world, so let's continue to build up mining districts on the mining world.
We grow ever stronger. They wish to speak with us.
Defensive Pact Invitation. The Union of Latrepian Stars. So this is the Latrepian star hierarchy. The Union of Latrepian Stars. Ironically, they're not that far off from potentially accepting this. Matter of fact, hang on, I might be able to swing this. If I give them... Oh wow, I may actually be able to swing it. Hang on. If I give them a little bit of research progress. So it'll cut research by 15%, but it will have a cumulative positive impact on monthly loyalty change. Now remember, this is the Union of Latrepian Stars are currently over the Thorquell Pact. And the Union of Latrepian Stars is where again? Oh, they're over here. So they are actually right near us. So I can go ahead and make them my vassal as well. We can make them a protectorate, which is the only option at the moment. But let's go ahead and just say proceed. No defensive pact. Let's decline that. Let's see if they accept the offer of subjugation. They did. So we also got the Thorquell Pact as a result. So that secret fealty has finally paid off. And our subject specialization, we can set up some holdings now. So let's take a moment and appreciate these options. And we've got to wrap up the episode in a moment anyway. So this is a kind of a cool turn of events for the end of things. So I can set up a holding, a single holding. So Overlord traders transfer subject energy credits to the Overlord in exchange for amenities. That's the Emporium. Aid agency. Aid workers produce amenities for the subject and unity for the Overlord. Overlord propagandists turn subject unity into influence for the Overlord. I already have plenty of influence. Assembly complex. Planetary build speed increases the effects of modules on the planet's orbital ring. Overlord garrison. Every Overlord army on this planet gives an additional minus 10% crime, plus 5 or 0.5 monthly loyalty, and minus 5% happiness, to a maximum of negative 30% crime, an additional plus 1.5 monthly loyalty, and minus 15% happiness. Satellite campus. Overlord academics turn subject consumer goods into research points for both Overlord and subject. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. That'll help compensate for the research penalty that I just suffered. We'll set up a holding there. And then the Habente Unified Worlds, I can also set a holding here. So why don't we... It looks like you might just need... Amenities-wise, you're fine. We'll do a satellite campus there too. Let's continue to focus on research. That's kind of our thing. So we'll run with that. Now, both of the... So when we look at contacts, we can also switch to the agreements screen now. Now, can't do anything with the shroud at the moment, but when we look at contacts, we can pop over here and just take a look at these 3 vassals, which we now control, which is more than we had at the beginning of the episode. So hey, I'll take it. There are additional holding possibilities here. We are producing... The Overload will provide the subject with a subsidy matching 30% of their monthly basic production. I don't recall contributing that. So it looks like in 60 days, we should be able to negotiate terms. So I might need to see if I can figure out what I can do to undo that, because that's a pretty big... That's 116 energy. Well, it's not that bad, is it? And it helps ensure that they're more loyal. So right now, their loyalty change to us monthly is poor. The Union of Latrepian Stars is at 0.0. So we'll have to monitor that closely in the next episode and kind of see how that develops. Also, what's this? Did I just see... Where are you? Vega 6A. Oh, yes. We control this territory now. So, are we still terraforming this other one? That looks like it's being terraformed right now. No, actually, but it is available for terraforming, so let's do that, because it's within our territory. And it's not easy to reach that area, but you know what we can do before I end the episode? I'm going to go ahead and have the construction ship. Yeah, we have a construction ship here in Ugron. I want you to come to Kador. And then we have this one here in Yelbarista, which might actually make it pretty quickly over here. And then we have you... Oh, wow. Hang on. You're even closer. Build a starbase in Dawkins. So we have some additional territory we can lock down here. It's not going to be a lot, but it's also not nothing. This science ship I can send back to Havenhead and have them assist research. And now that the Teal Fleet has been... Nice. Alright, so let's build that reinforcement. The Green Fleet can also be reinforced. Looks like we're mainly lacking alloys now. And to an extent, we're also lacking those rare resources, minor artifacts. We cannot reconnect this trade network, or this station to the trade network, unfortunately. So, yeah, let's see what we can do with that additionally gained. How we doing? Oh, look, we're 3rd place now. We're 3rd place now. We're above the notch clocks, but we're below the Latrepians. So huge shift in the score. We actually might still have a shot here. I really didn't think that I'd be able to outcompete the Latrepians, but now, maybe now, even with the pacifist playthrough, again, as I was saying earlier, there's probably some rethinking I need to do with like my approach to pacifistic, playthroughs at all on the channel. But that's kind of a discussion for the end of the series or a future series. For now, I think we might actually have a shot at pulling this one out. So let's see if we can make that happen in the next episode or 2 or 3. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and additional perks. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.